55% of students find dress code to restrict self-expression. 21% think it's unfair enforcement. 13% don't like it. 6% think it's too strict. And the other 5% think it takes away personal right.
What is your opinion on the current dress code at Wayzata?
Well, my current opinion is that it's an extremely flawed policy that has no place in this school. I think that it is not only completely subjective, but shames girls and boys and people who identify as neither into hiding their bodies and being, forced to care more about other people's discomfort than their education.
I'm fine with the dress code. People are able to, I don't really care. People can dress whatever way they want to dress. It's like some people, dress really preppy. Some people dress depending on what they want to wear. It's fine with me. I really don't care about what anybody wears.
I think in some places it is enforced too strictly and is not beneficial to students or staff.
As long as a bunch of stuff isn't revealing, I don't really care personally.
What do you consider revealing? Because her stomach showing.
Like, no, that's not revealing. Like, indecent parts revealing.
I think the dress code is really strict about the length of shorts for girls and about tank top, the width of tank tops.
That's the current dress code at Wayzata.
I think that while it was made in good intentions, as all dress codes are, there is a significant problem with the way that it is a little discriminatory towards the girls and women at our school, as well as with gender double standards, and it is kind of a problem and it really should be fixed.
The main problem with dress code is the fact that it favors male students. Looking at statistics, we found that 12% of male were sent to the office, 18% were sent home, and only 12% were given a warning. But for female students, 35% were sent to the office, 19% were sent home, and 60% were given a warning. Jessica Valenti, a feminist feminist and author, talked about the female body as distracting. Another quick thought on dress code and sexism, she says. I've been amazed at the number of commenters that just don't get it on the way dress codes can discriminate against women. What's been truly interesting to me is the way that commenters continue to make the same argument that principals do, that the way some young women dress is distracting, that men can't help but look at these young women and their supposedly scandalous attire, and that is this overwhelming desire to ogle young women means that schoolwork isn't being properly paid attention to. This distraction standard for a dress code sets up a model in which the default students we are concerned about, the students whose learning we want to ensure and protect, is male and not the female.
On their education, because some teacher thought that they were showing an extra inch of their thigh and that was going to distract somebody, when clearly someone else being distracted is obviously more important than someone's education.
Would you say that if girls are dressed like a certain way, is that distracting to you in class? Like, does that distract you from your schoolwork, would you say?
Sometimes, but not to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like fixed on it. I'll be like, look at it and be like, oh, okay, that's nice. And then I'll just keep going on with what I'm doing. It's not something that I'm really fixed on.
Yeah, so would you say you do that regularly, no matter what a girl is wearing?
No, no.
So it doesn't really matter what a girl is wearing?
No, it doesn't really matter.
Dress coded?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So I was wearing shorts and I wanted to wear shorts, but then I couldn't because apparently they were too short. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then I was wearing jeans with holes in the sides, and then they just told me I couldn't wear them again.
Is dress coded, was it yesterday? I can't remember. I think it was yesterday. But I had to go home early, miss my MoPro class, and because I couldn't get a ride immediately, I had to sit in a breakout room. So I was sitting in a breakout room in the first floor office, waiting while my class was being taught upstairs, just because a teacher that I don't even know, like the teacher didn't even identify themselves. They had another person come and get me and tell me that my clothes were inappropriate, and so I didn't even know the person who was accusing me of breaking the dress code, and I had to sit in that breakout room while my class was being conducted.
So please just say your name and your position at the school.
Yep, I'm Mr. Pulicky, and I'm the 12th grade associate principal here at Wayzata High School.
Okay, awesome. And can you summarize what the dress code currently is at the school?
Yeah, without taking out the guide and reading it, basically what it boils down to is just, wearing attire that would be considered school appropriate, not too much revealing, right, for boys and girls. Nothing that has any, inappropriate references to alcohol, drugs, tobacco, those types of things.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
And so how do you think, would you say the enforcement of the dress code differs a little from the way it's specifically stated in the guidebook?
Mm-hmm. I think it would, because when you have a building of 3,300 students and you've got about 200 staff members, as far as what the expectations are in the book, I think they're pretty clear.
Yeah.
But I think there's always a level of interpretation. You especially when you get into the short kind of a deal.
Yeah.
It's there's definitely a subjective part to it. What constitutes too long or what constitutes too short.
Right.
And I know we have the fingertip rule, but there is definitely some subjectivity to that.
Yeah. Do you think the fingertip rule is something that is accurate, or should be a way to dismiss students for what they're wearing?
Yeah, my last school that I was at, they did the fingertip rule too, and everyone has different body shapes, different sizes,
Right.
and so I think what it boils down to is that if you see something and it's clear oh my gosh,
Right.
he or she, they've got short hair, is way too short.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the easier way to do it, the best way to do that. So because I think that can be a little gray area sometimes too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And would you say our dress code kind of targets groups of people, females more so than men? would you
Yeah,
say?
I've been asked that before, and I think I do get a mixed bag. If it's the girls with the spaghetti straps or those types of things, I think they're just fashion can dictate that, as far as maybe the different fashions that maybe girls are wearing. It might have that perception that they're going to be more prone to having a dress code violation. But I get a fair share of guys that the shorts are hanging down too low, those types of things.
Yeah.
But so from what I get a pretty mixed bag.